Hi everyone, this is Bobby from bn-games.com, and today we have another arcade video to work on. I just got this in the mail. This is Dead or Alive 2 for the Sega Naomi. I got this off the Arcade Project forums, and we're going to pop it in here a little later tonight, doing the intro now before it gets way too hot to really do anything. So, I guess a little history. Dead or Alive 2, the first time I played it was in high school. Kid brought his Dreamcast into class. I think it was like towards Christmas break. You know, we had already done our tests. And I got to play it there. I've actually never played it in the arcade before. And then, you know, I played on the Dreamcast. But most of my experience with Dead or Alive 2, Dead or Alive in general, was on the PlayStation 2 with Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, which, from my understanding, has more characters and levels and that sort of thing. You know, they added more for that release. This does have the what's known as the Millennium Update. So it has a couple costumes, and it unlocks, I believe, survival mode and tag team automatically. Otherwise, you have to change some settings in the Naomi to get it to work in the original version of this. So, yeah, we're gonna pop this in a little while, which you won't notice because it'll be a camera cut, and play some. I'm not the greatest at this game, and I used to think of it as a casual fighter. I mean, it still takes some skill, but I don't know. It's no Third Strike, let's put it that way. But we'll pop it in, do some playing. Of course, I'm going to probably suck at it, and talk a little more about it then. Okay, I know the air is on, but this is weird. I just got the game in the cabinet, and it says it's loading the game. It's testing it. I've never seen that for a RAM cart before. Oh, there we go. All right, gameplay next. All right, everyone. It's 12:30 in the morning now. It's finally cool enough that I can turn the air off and you know, get some footage. I have the camera as close as I can get to the monitor. I've noticed that the game looks a lot better in person on this monitor than it does, at least in the snapshots I've taken. I haven't taken any video yet, so we'll see. We'll see how that works. Before I get into playing the game, I want to show you a unique menu. So first, I'm going to test mode. I'm going to hit a button in the bottom. There we go. So, for the Sega Naomi, the test mode always brings up the system BIOS, the motherboard system BIOS. But every game has its own game test mode, which we're going to go to next at the bottom here. Now, this one is unique, and I'll show you why. Every game I've played so far on the Naomi and set up in the test menu has had a test menu that looks very much like the Sega Naomi one. As you can see here, this looks nothing like the Sega Naomi normal test menu. This is the game menu for this game. This is like the kind of wallpaper in front of my dad's computer. But you do have your story options, and you can set your difficulty and how much life you have, and for all modes very specifically. The only thing I've changed in here that's not factory is the nation. I said it's USA instead of Japan, so the text is mostly in English, but most of the voice acting is in Japanese anyway. I was testing it, and I will say I thought I was going to be a lot worse at the game. Normal mode on the arcade is surprisingly easy for the most part. The only thing I'm having a problem with is this game. One of the best things about this game, at least, well, one of my favorite things to do, is to counter attacks. And this is a 3-button game, so button 1, punch 1 normally, is the block button, and you use that in tandem with a direction to block an incoming attack. It's like a parry and third strike, kind of similar idea. what I found in this version, or maybe it's just on the arcade stick, I mostly played on the PlayStation 2 version. Most I played this game as far as Dead or Alive 2 is concerned. What I found is it's a lot harder to get the character to actually do it. So I'm going to attempt it a little bit, and it might get hit in places where I didn't mean to. But I'm kind of getting attention here. I wanted to show you this first because I couldn't believe this comes up. It's the first and only game so far that I've found that actually does this. Under sound test, there's some different BGMs. You can change. I mean, it gives you a good amount of options. You can turn off the tag, battle, and survival mode, which this being the Millennium update has those on by default. In the original cart without the update, they were off. You'd have to go in here, but yeah, that's a first. I don't think there are any other Naomi games that have such an explicit game menu. And as you can see, we're back to the Naomi BIOS. I'm gonna turn the sound on now. I have a switch on the cab, so we're gonna get into it. And I'm just gonna play in story mode, and I'm actually probably gonna burn through it pretty quickly, even while I'm trying to do some of the counters. Because I really like doing the counters, but for some reason it just the direction and the button don't always trigger. Sometimes I have to do it from a weird diagonal. I don't remember having that much trouble with the Dreamcast and PS2 versions, but this is also weird. No other Naomi game I've played so far has literally sat there and said, we're going to test the I.O. Even even my initial D-cab, it kind of has an initialization screen, but nothing like this. This is very unique. But I know you can't see it, but there's a little counter on the bottom. It takes about 30 seconds, and then it'll say, enjoy! And now. So, alright. Haven't played this game in a very long time. Probably not since it came out on the Xbox, on Xbox Live. I don't know what she said. Alright. And I'm gonna play story. I'll play Fei Long or Bruce Lee. He was my favorite character. He's the one I kind of know the best. Alright. My favorite thing to do. She countered. I can do that too. See, I wasn't even trying. I definitely have to try the difficulty after. You can zoom in. Dennis Rodman, for those of you old enough to remember that reference. Hey. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ow. Oh, I got cocky. Get ready. He's more about delayed button presses. I'm gonna try to do this a little different. Zoom in. This is the first level I remember playing on the Dreamcast version. Oh, she blocked me. Oh. her off. Yay! Wow. Said I was doing said it was so easy and I keep losing. I was doing much better earlier. Camera's making me nervous. Piss me up. Yeah. It's not super complicated. Especially being it's a 3-button game for the most part. Still looks really good though for its age. I think I owe her some money. So I can't get the counter to work. See, I can. So pressing the direction with the block button, which should be doing it. There, see, it does it sometimes. I just can't get it to trigger every time. Alright. I'm not gonna lose the game because I'm trying to counter. Keep trying to do that. Zoom in. Oh, that's right. Counter you, bitch. I'll do counter. Not gonna let me. Alright. Yeah, I'm trying to do it. I'm definitely pressing the direction and the block, but it's... Yeah, pressing it there, and it's the same thing I was doing, same exact direction. Oh, there we go. Shit. It's I can't get it consistent, and I know the stick is not having a problem. I mean, it works everywhere else. The block button works, and I can hold it. All right. Oh no! Blow up! Yeah, I might need to do more research on why. Maybe I'm pressing something wrong. I don't think I am. I really don't think I am. Drunken Master.
Get ready.
Hey, old man. Say get there. See, I know if I'm doing it wrong, I'm putting a button and getting punished. I understand that, but he's not even making the animation that he's trying. Yeah.
You get ready.
Oh, you can do that too. at the final boss. Which, even with all my screwing up and screwing around here, I got here pretty quick. I'm not going to mess around with this guy, or not really try to mess around. Blocking is just too inconsistent.
Get ready.
Hold the block button to get closer. Oh, now you're blocking. Ow.
You lose. Get ready.
Man, I didn't have any. He didn't do even half of this when I played earlier.
You get ready.
Bitch.
Get ready.
Oh shit.
Get ready.
I wonder if changing the BIOS set the difficulty back to normal. I think it might have been an easy the first time I played. So he didn't do half of this. I'll get him eventually. I might.
Get ready.
Alright. What the fuck?
Get ready.
Fuck you. Yeah, I'm starting to think that it was uneasy before, and I changed the BIOS to normal. I mean, it wasn't that hard once I kind of start focusing, but I am still having the problem with the counter. That is still clearly something, I'm doing something wrong, or I don't know what it is, but you know, I mostly played this on, you know, PlayStation 2 controller, you know, for the most part, than an Xbox controller. This game on the Duke controller is not fun. I don't care what anybody says. But that's the quote-unquote story mode in a nutshell. Yeah, I mean, it's still a decent game, and it certainly looks very good for its age. I mean, it's aged definitely well. I won't go as far as say as the new ones look exactly the same, but if you put them next to each other, it's gonna be one of those things where you're like, yeah, I see the upgrades, but you know, the lineage is not that great. It's not like Super Mario versus the current Mario, you know. It's not that big of a leap, at least in my opinion. So, my favorite mode to play is actually tag. I think that's the guy who's the Hulk Hogan wannabe, voice-wise anyway. I do tag. I will do Lei Fang and, well, I know him the best, so get him in his Akira outfit. Akira. This is how we would play tag mostly.
Yes. Get ready.
I like the way Lei Fang fights. She's very fluid. Yeah, bitch. Next. She doesn't have a lot of power hits like Bruce Lee does. See if we can do a tag grab. Those are some of the best looking moves in the game.
Yes. Get ready.
I just gotta remember how to do it, actually. I guess not. Yeah, bitch. I gotta figure it out. I may not be able to do it in this here. There's a way of doing it where it tags in the other person. In fact, I don't even know how you tag in this. Now I think about it. I haven't played the arcade version. Old man. How the fuck did you do that? Stop hitting me in the wall. Oh, I didn't think I was going to beat that one. How do you tag? That's a good question. You only have 3 buttons. How the fuck do you do it?
Yes. Get ready.
Trying to figure out the buttons here. See if I can find how to do it. Oh well, I got tagged hit. I don't know fuck that happened? What if this does? Put a one button. No. No, it's not. Hey. I'm fucking down, Rumble Roses. Shit. Man, I don't know how you do it. You only got 3 buttons. How do you do it? I have to look it up.
Ready?
Hey, quit countering everything. Especially when I can't get it to consistently counter. You know what? I'm gonna do a player 2
Calendar up here.
and see if I can figure it out. Because man, let's see. Ryo Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. See if I can figure it out. Yeah, because I don't have any clue. How do you do it? Alright, so. Again, I can't get her to fucking counter. I'm literally towards and hitting the button. See, it works once. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay. Not what I wanted, but okay. So what? Even getting him to 3D walk is kind of a pain in the ass. I can get him to do it that way, but sometimes see it works more in the diagonal. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. But I'm not. Oh! Son of a bitch! It's all 3 buttons. Let's see if I can. I know there's. Oh. Okay, let me explain. Jesus. So it's toward or away from the opponent, all 3 buttons. Jesus. Alright. But the block is still inconsistent. Alright, well, that's at least something. Figure that out pretty quick at least. It's just that damn counters. Ugh, it's a pain in the ass. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Damn it. fucking thing. Countering it. Alright. Come on.
よろしくね Get ready
Counter!
私の番ね
Countering is not gonna happen. Not being able to counter consistently is really killing it. Maybe they use different sticks. I'm using LS56s, but I can't get it to do it consistently.
よろしくね Get ready
Every move now is getting countered. Damn camera, stop recording. I won. How did I get them to grab? Oh, I gotta be right next to them.
私の番ね
Bitch. Okay.
Winner
I think I would have cut it there. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm really tired. What the hell? Oh, I guess I finished it. All I did was mute it. Yeah, I mean it's fairly simple. I mean it has a little bit of depth, but it's not that deep a game. You know, it was a lot of aesthetics over being a technical fighting game. You know, if you really wanted a technical fighting game, you would play Virtua Fighter. You know, which was this game is, I believe this is based on the same engine. At least definitely based on the same concept. Definitely supposed to be more bombastic, you know. And some characters have more depth than others. Like, you know, Bruce Lee, he's not the most complicated character. She definitely can't. She's more complex in her combos. Yeah, I can't. I don't know what it is. I can't get the counter to be consistent. I'm going to do some research on that and see what it is. It might be the stick they used to use, because the gamepad was real. Remember the gamepad? I mean, it wasn't consistent as like I would land it every time, but I could at least get them to do the animation, and I'd still get punished if I whiffed. You know, something of that nature. But anyway, you know, it's still a fun game. I got it thankfully for fairly cheap. You can get this on the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2 for next to nothing. I think the Dreamcast version actually is more expensive these days compared to the PS2 version. PS2 version has like more characters, more costumes, more stages, but you know, this is the original game right here, pretty much as you see it. It's the first time I've played the arcade version, so. And I noticed a couple of places where there's slowdown, where like the frame rate kind of starts going down a little bit. I remember the Dreamcast and PS2 version having the same problems, so I originally thought those were just port problems, but it looks like even on real Naomi hardware, this thing does the same thing. So, yeah, if you've never played Dead or Alive and you want like a fun, you know, call it party fighting game, you know, not something to take super seriously, I highly recommend it for the old consoles. If you can play on the Naomi, that'd be great too. You know, with the exception of what I'm running into with with the counters, I think that might be something else on my end, but I can't be 100% sure. I mean, it works. I mean, you can see the characters doing them with no problem, but me, it's just not working. I don't know what it is. Anywho, that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, put them on, you know, below. You know, comments, or I'm tired. I gotta do these things late because I'm in Los Angeles and it's 100 degrees during the day, and you know, I don't want to have the air blowing and all you hear is the damn air, you know, as I'm recording. So I'd like to be a little more lucid when I do these things, so I'm not so sloppy. But you know, when winter comes, I'll start making more videos, and I'll just complain about how cold it is because, you know, people say, well, it doesn't get cold in California. Well, California is a desert. And you'd be surprised how cold a cold night in Los Angeles feels. You know, and I lived in Washington where it snows, and I still think it feels colder here. But that's a debate for another day. Anyway, please subscribe and let me know what you think. Thank you.